Hello everyone, welcome to Cookies Enabled. I'm Will, your host, and today we are going to be talking about how to install Windows 11 on your old legacy machine. Now, believe it or not, I'm actually doing my whole show on an older Windows machine and that is currently running Windows 11 using this exact hack. So stick around and let's learn something new together. So why do we want to install Windows 11 on our old school machines? Well, Windows 10 is being slowly phased out of production, which means that in the next coming years, probably in another 2 to 3 years, you're going to lose all updates for your current machine. And Windows 11 will help kind of keep updates flowing and your security at least at par with current machines. Now, obviously, we're bypassing some of those security protocols that we're going to be talking about here, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. So how do we get started in this? Let's say you're running an old machine right now and you're pretty sure at least if it's running Windows 10, there's a really good chance it'll run Windows 11, probably better than Windows 10. So here's what you'll want to do. Let me do a screen share for you guys, and here's how you'll do this. So in this screen, you'll go right to the internet and you are going to jump right to Google. And in this place, you're going to you're going to click download your PC Health Check app. So go ahead and type all that in, and this will bring you two links right up at the front. If you click the first one, it wants you to be part of the Insiders program. Don't click on this. Click the second one. This makes more sense. So you're going to click here, and this is actually going to show you how to use the app and understand it better. So you're going to want this link later as well. Now, right underneath this main picture says how to open the PC Health Check app. And if you're not seeing it on your computer, click here to get it. That's where you're going to go. You're going to click that little blue link, and then this will bring you to the download page. Go ahead and click the Download PC Health Check app right here, and this will start the whole download process. You're going to want to save that file and then go ahead and install it. Now, I've already got Windows 11 running on this computer, so it really won't do much for me on here. I'm not going to go ahead and install it, but do it on your machine, and once you get that installed, you'll go back to screens that look like this. And once you click that Check Now button, it will give you options and tell you exactly what's going on in your machine. Do you have enough RAM? Do you have the TPM 2.0 and secure boot modes enabled? And if you don't have any of these things set up on your computer, this app will actually help you show you how to turn them on or to bypass them. Now, if it says something about the CPU being out of date, or in my case, I didn't have the TPM 2.0, this is how you're going to bypass it. So definitely pay attention. Again, this is super easy. If you've never had to do any of these programs before, don't feel bad because it is definitely not that tricky. So stick with me. Okay, so make sure you run your PC Health Check tool. Once you've ran that, if it's saying anything like you need to enable secure boot or enable TPM 2.0 or maybe even upgrade to 2.0 or 1.0 to 2.0 for TPM, that is all doable right through the internet. Just go to Google and type in the computer manufacturer that you have, if it's a Dell or a Vizio or whatever it is, type all that in and type in like enable secure boot or enable 2.0 TPM. Usually you can find the solutions very quickly without downloading or installing anything. It's usually you're enabling a setting in the computer and then voila, you're all set. So definitely give that a try, and that should fix your main issue with installing Windows 11. Then it'll actually give you the prompt to install. If it's something like you don't have enough RAM or you have no TPM installed at all on your computer, or maybe your CPU is out of date, now you're going to want to continue watching the show. So go ahead and grab your backup drive. These guys are really important. This one is an old nasty drive I have. As you can tell, it needs to be cleaned. But it's an old Seagate. It's a 1 terabit. It's perfect for backing up any kind of files on my computer. And I'm going to show you where to go in your computer to get those files. So let me turn on my screen capture here. If you're running Windows 10, as you can tell, I'm running Windows 11, so it's going to look a little different. You're going to search, click on your Start button, and then type this PC. And it should bring you to something that looks a little similar to this window, and it's going to show all your different disks that you have and all your different folders that you easily get to. In this case, you're going to want to go to your local disk C, which is your primary drive, whatever has your Windows logo on it. And then you're going to look for the file that says users. You're going to double click that, And then in there, you're going to find the one that has your username on it. In my case, mine says Bond0. That's got all of my files in it. It's about 708 gigs. So it's a pretty big file, but it'll fit on my drive, no problem. So that's what I'm going to want to pretty much drag everything over to my backup drive and just keep everything on there as a raw file. And we'll drag those over later once we get Windows 11 installed. Okay, so now you're going to go to Google and you're going to type in download Windows 11. This will bring you to a few different options. Skip these first few right off the bat. You're actually going to click this very first one that just says download Windows 11 / Microsoft. That's actually the very first one we want. There may be another one that says the same thing, and if it says add, just skip it. So this is going to bring you, it's going to tell you got 3 options. You can either do the Windows 11 Installation Assistant, which pretty much does everything for you. Again, if you were able to bypass all of your PC health check issues, if it's telling you you can take Windows 11, no problems, you got nothing to worry about, that very first option is great for you and will get you all the way to Windows 11 and keep all of your folders, files, programs, everything exactly where they are. So go ahead and click that first one. If you didn't get lucky enough and you got to use my hack, you're going to want the second or third option. I usually recommend most people do the Create Windows 11 Installation Media. This walks you through creating either a USB bootable drive or a DVD media disk that you can put into an older computer to boot from. So either way, you're going to either need a DVD burner or I would say at least a 20 gigabyte flash drive to install. This one is actually 64 gigs. It was way more than enough. 32 gigs is definitely enough space to install all of Windows 11, no problem. So you'll want to download your ISO image, get that installed onto the flash drive, which again, it'll walk you through how to do all of that through these programs. Again, that second one is the easiest to do. I definitely recommend most people click that option. And once you get that installed, now we're getting somewhere with the installation finally. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay, so I'm showing you this screen particularly because I wanted to show you guys the 3 main reasons why Windows 11 won't let me install from the desktop. So I'm trying to install Windows 11 from a Windows 10 desktop. I didn't run PC Health Check app or anything on this computer. I just put the disk in, hit install, see what it would do, and this is where I got. So obviously, it's not allowing me to go back to any previous screen. In fact, my back button is grayed out. I can't even click on it. I can only close my installation setup, which is why you won't be able to hack from this window. You'll have to actually boot from a fresh boot. You know what I mean? Like fully shut the computer down and then turn it back on to get to the Windows installation. So you actually have to make sure your computer can boot to a USB drive or to a DVD, CD drive to install this Windows hack. Otherwise, if you don't know how to boot to a USB, definitely again go to Google and type in your computer name. If it's Toshiba or Dell or something, type that in and type in how to boot to USB and see if it's even an option, because most computers will let you do that, including this old school one. It just doesn't work very well, so I did the DVD instead. So this one is obviously saying I don't have TPM 2.0, so I can't do that. I don't have secure boot, and I don't have a CPU that is supported by Windows. So I'm going to show you how to bypass those 3 things plus more in just a second here, guys. Okay, so at this point you have already obviously installed Windows 11 ISO file on a USB flash drive like this guy, or a DVD, which is actually what I'm running on this old machine. So this is an old school AMD Athlon, and in my previous screen I hopefully have shown you that we have 3 things we're going to bypass, which are probably the 3 main ones that we're going to bypass. We're going to bypass TPM 2.0, the secure boot, as well as the CPU check. So here we are at the Windows 11 installation screen. I kind of fast forwarded through a lot of the wait, and you'll see me kind of get there, but on these older machines it takes a while just to get to this screen. So obviously this is asking us our standard input devices. Yes, English, go ahead, next. We're going to click install. I know, it sounds crazy, we haven't changed anything. We're going to get a message that's going to tell us, hey, by the way, you can't install on this computer, and that's actually what we're hoping for. So we want the software to check our computer and come back and tell us, hey, I can't install because of these problems. Now, the other thing that we're going to do is while we're waiting for this to pop up, I'll show you the website that you're going to want to go to that will actually walk you through all these steps as well in a written form and has pictures for you guys. So obviously it says how to install Windows 11 without TPM and unsupported CPU. This also works for if you don't have the right amount of RAM, you can actually have it bypass RAM check as well. It's the exact same way we're going to do these other ones. So I'll break that all down for you. Now let me pull up the website so I can skim through. This is kind of what we're looking for. It's going to say, oh, this PC doesn't meet those system requirements. That's what we're trying to get our current computer to show us right now, and then we can jump to the next step. Once we get to that warning, then you can go back to the Windows installation screen, hit Shift and the F10 key, which is at the very top of your keyboard. Usually it's a number key that has a function attached to it. So it's an F10 key, and that will bring up your command prompt, which is what we're going to use to get to our registry keys. You're going to type in regedit, hit enter, and then we're going to walk through all of these registries together. So I will be back here momentarily as soon as the computer comes up with that warning for us. Okay, so I always forget about this screen. This is after our long wait of setup is starting. It's going to ask for our key. Go ahead and just click the I don't have a product key, which is going to be found right here. And this is actually, again, we're going to bypass all this. Windows 11 is free. Just click the I don't have a key. It's going to skip this part. It's going to ask us what version we're going to install. And this computer already had a Home Edition installed on it. It didn't have a Pro or an Ultimate or anything. So I'm just going to say Home Edition and click Next. And now it's going to double check the computer again to make sure it can even run Windows Home. Oh no. And here we go. Windows can't run, or this PC can't run Windows 11, unfortunately. And that's what we thought. But now we're going to click Next, which it doesn't give us an option to. Obviously we can't. So we're actually going to click the little X up here. And it's going to be like, oh no, are you sure you want to quit? You're going to say yes. It's going to bring you back to this main installation screen. Now you're going to go to your keyboard and you're going to hold Shift and you're going to hit the F10 key, and voila. Now you have access to this prompt. You cannot get to this prompt unless you start the installation process and if for whatever reason fails and you go back to the screen. That's why you have to push through the first time. So now we're going to type in our infamous regedit, which is R-E-G, it's R-E-G for reg, and then edit, and then hit enter. No spaces, and this is going to bring up our literally the whole registry of that CD. Now we're going to add registries to that CD, and that's what this website is walking us through how to do. So we actually need to create a whole new folder. We actually have to get to a bunch of subfolders first, and then we have to add a new folder. So let's go to our baseline folder. First we're going to click on H key local machine, which is this guy, the third one down. We're going to click this one. Then we're going to click System, and that's another big list. And then we're going to click Setup, and that's going to drop this last one down. Now, in here, obviously, I do not have a file that says lab config, and that's what we're looking for. We need that. So I'm going to click on Setup, and in or on this Setup folder, we're going to right-click on it. We're going to say New, and we're going to say Key. I'm sorry. And once that pops up, it should give us an option. It's going to show a whole new folder on there, and in that folder, we're going to type lab, L-A-B, con, C-O-N, and then fig, F-I-G. Oops, and I'm typing it on the wrong thing. Sorry. Got like multiple keyboards over here. Lab config, and we are going to hit enter. And then inside this new lab config folder, as you can see, we already have a default, which is great. That's what we want. But we are going to add new things to this folder. So we need to add a new one. We're going to right click just anywhere in this blank space, and we're going to say new, and instead of key this time, now we're going to say D word 32-bit value. You're going to click this, and here's where we're going to start bypassing all that fun stuff. Now I said the first thing we have to bypass is our TPM 2.0. That's exactly what we're going to type. We're going to type bypass TPM check. We're going to hit enter. And there we go. We've just created a registry file. Now we're going to double click on that registry file and change that value from 0 to 1. Again, binary code. We want it on, not off. Okay, that was it. Now we just bypassed all TPM. It'll check to see if it's there, and it's just going to skip that whole thing. We got to do this 2 more times, though. We're going to right-click again in that blank space. We're going to create another new file, and this one's going to be another D word, 32-bit as well. We're going to say bypass CPU check, and we're going to double-click on this. Also change that value from a 0 to a 1 and hit enter. All set there. Now we can have any CPU we want, and it'll still allow us to install. We're going to right-click one last time here because remember we got a secure boot bypass we have to do as well. So we're going to do a D-word list as well. We're going to bypass the secure boot. Check. Hit enter. Double-click on the secure boot check. Hit 1, and we're done. Now, if you have other things, maybe you didn't meet your RAM requirement, guess what? You can bypass that in here too, just like we did. Create another D-word 32-bit, bypass RAM check, and change the value to a 1, hit enter. Once you're done making these changes, you close out of this box completely. Just hit the X. You don't have to save anything. Oh, then we have to hit exit on here. Poof, we're back to our installation screen. Now when I click install, it will just begin the installation process. Okay, we are done waiting, obviously, and we're back at that installation screen where it's asking for a key. Again, we don't have a key. We're going to bypass the key. We're going to click, I don't have a product key. We're going to skip that part. It's going to ask us what version again, which I said it was probably going to do. We're going to say home. We're going to click next. Now, this is why you're going to want to back up all your files. Our next screen should be, obviously, our terms and conditions. We're going to accept this. I'm not even going to bother reading it. And after that, it's going to say, do I want to upgrade what I currently have installed, or do I want a custom install? Now, in my history of doing installations, this is my 5th time on a legacy machine. I have never been able to get it to do an upgrade on legacy. It's always had to be a custom, which means you're going to have to erase all of your partitions, all of your files, and essentially reformat the whole computer, which is what I'm going to show you how to do here. You're going to click the advanced. It's going to show you all your partitions. You're going to delete each one of these by selecting each partition and then clicking delete. And then once you have nothing but one drive listed and it says unallocated, then you're going to click next and let Windows do the rest. That is the easiest way to do it, and literally you can just get up and walk away. Now, if it's an old school, I would say if it's 5 years or older, give the machine at least 2 hours uninterrupted to fully get through the installation. If it's less than 5 years old, maybe an hour is all it'll take. So again, you're going to select each one of these, select that delete key, and once they're all deleted and they're all unallocated space, you'll be able to click next, and then it'll install Windows and do all its updates and stuff, and it bring you right back to your Windows. So again, then you can plug in your external hard drive and copy all your user files back over, and voila, you're all set. So hopefully that made sense to you guys. I wasn't trying to make this a super complicated bit. I'm not about to delete everything on this computer just yet because I'm not 100% ready to install Windows 11 on it just yet. But maybe in the future I'll install Windows 11 on this machine and give it away. So if you guys are interested or have any extra questions, definitely let me know. I'm posting every source I have referenced, including where to download Windows, where to get to the hacks that I've listed, as well as other options that you have in case you don't like the ones I'm presenting here. Well, I want to say thank you for everybody who stuck all the way to the end of this episode. I know this is not like our normal episodes, but if you have any questions or comments about what I went through today, either drop them below in our comment section or shoot us an email at the email above there. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, so you can always hit us up, drop us a line on there, shoot us a funny meme if you would like. But again, if you have any questions about what we went through today, definitely let me know. This was one of the easiest installation hacks that Windows has ever released, and I hope you guys think so too. So let us know what you think, and again, thank you for sticking all the way to the end. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share down in the corner, And again, I know I learned something new, and I hope you guys did too. We'll see you all next time, everybody.